Hey everyone, blessings. I hope that you are all doing well out there. In this video, I will be discussing, once again, nice, nasty people. This is part 2 of a 2-part series. I hope you were able to watch the first part where I spoke about and discussed the dark empath. In this video, we're going to be discussing the terroristic sweetheart. But before we get into our topic of discussion, I want to invite you to subscribe to this channel. If you're not already a subscriber, hit that like button. It helps me out. Also, hit the notifications so you'll know whenever I upload a new video. Share this video if you like what I'm doing over here, and feel free to drop me a comment. I would love to hear from you. As usual, I do appreciate your support of this channel. Now let's get into the second part of the nice, nasty people that I will be discussing, and that is the terroristic sweetheart. These people give off the impression, and they spend a lifetime of, number one, perfecting the mask of niceness. These are not good people, but they take on all of the qualities of being good people, of being nice people, in order to manipulate and to get over on people and to have their own way. So many of these people have spent many years perfecting the mask of niceness. They may seem like the sweetest people on earth, but they're not. It's just a mask. It's just something that they have, a persona that they have crafted and made up in order to do their dirty work behind the scenes, in order to really, they really, this nice, nasty person, they really do it in order to control other people, right? So the second thing you need to know about this person, so the first thing is that, they perfected the mask of niceness. They may seem like the nicest people on the planet, which they are not. And the second thing you need to know about the terroristic sweetheart, because they are terrors, undercover terrorists, is that they are extremely passive aggressive. Now, I could talk a lot about the passive aggressive person because I'm a recovering passive aggressive person. I used to be very much passive aggressive, and I make a choice every day, all the time, not to be that way. So I could tell you a lot about the passive aggressive person. These people are not able, and I call them cowards because I used to be cowardly. They're not able to confront situations and confront people in a normal and healthy way. So they go behind the scenes and they covertly manipulate situations and sabotage things in order to exert their own authority. And because, these people are, these nice, nasty people types are very, very much insecure. Many of them may feel powerless, and this is their way of taking back their power through their passive aggressive behavior, right? So, they may feel anger and frustration, like when I used to feel anger and frustration, what they do, because they're not able to basically get that out and express it in a healthy way, they're sneaky about it. They may express their displeasure, by, destroying things and, pulling strings behind a curtain to ruin, activities and sabotage people's jobs. I've seen all sorts of things. Or be disagreeable. Everyone may think that, this person is on board, because they're so nice, and they may feel completely different about what's happening. And, they'll do something to destroy and to throw a wrench in, the good things that are going on. So, yeah, these people, they're very indirect with their anger and with their frustration. And, they just work behind the scenes to ruin and destroy, what's going on, so they can control what's happening, right? Because they can't do it in a healthy and, normal way, right? So, and you'll never know when the terroristic sweetheart is truly upset, because they always have a smile plastered on their face. like I said, they perfected, the mask of niceness. Everyone who's ever met them would be like, oh, she's such a wonderful lady. Oh, he's such a great guy. She baked me cookies. He took me to the game. Oh, he's such a great conversationalist. He listens, kind of like the dark empath. They listen to people. They smile at people. They say good morning. They're so seemingly pleasant to be around. How could they be evil? How could they have gotten me fired? How could they have, ruined my event? How can they have voted against that thing that I wanted with the board? How could they have gone behind my back and said these things about me? I don't believe it. That's the terroristic sweetheart, right? So they move and they operate behind the scenes, and they just wreak havoc to have their own way. So they are extremely passive aggressive, and like the dark empath, they are really, really hard to detect. They're hard to detect. Number one, because everybody likes them, right? And they are also very much emotionally intelligent, and some of them are even spiritually intelligent. They're able to pick up on, physical cues, verbal cues. So they're really good at reading people. They're good at picking up on patterns with people. And they, it's to them when they're around people, it's like going to school, right? Because, and they're taking notes on folks, they're kind of like the collector, a type of a horrible person I spoke about in a previous video. They're getting information on people, intel on people. So they'll know how to manipulate and how to get over on people. But they seem like the nicest people on the planet, but, they're able to get into your head. They're able to tap into your emotions. They're able to, pick up on, different things that are going on with the person. They have good memories. So these are really emotionally intelligent people, and they know and they understand people really, really well. And that's how they're able to fly under the radar undetected. Number one, everybody likes them. They're very likable people. Very, seemingly helpful, and and it's hard to say anything bad about them because and it's usually hard to pinpoint a particular thing, and you may pick up that they have done something to you, but you can't, because they're so sneaky about it. That passive aggressiveness, once again, they're so sneaky about it. It's hard to know whether or not they did it. These are the people who will throw stones and throw rocks and hide their hands. You'll never know how they did it. You'll never know how they brought a whole organization down. You'll never know how, they ruined the relationship. The terroristic sweetheart. They are the true emotional terrorist, right? And, people, when you tell, and when they get found out, that's the rough part, because once again, everybody likes them. And when you say that they did these horrible things, people don't believe you. They think that you may have the problem. And I've come across a number of terroristic sweethearts, very manipulative people, very passive aggressive people. And that's a terrible quality to have. Thank God, God has helped me out in that area of my life. But not such great people, but they're hard to detect. They're really good at reading people. They're good with human psychology. They understand how people think. They're people on the emotional level, so it's hard to detect them. But once again, like I said in my previous video with the dark empath, just pay attention to how you feel around these folks, or just people in general. Especially when they seem too nice. Now, there's people who are just extremely nice, and that's just who they are. But people who kind of like overdo it, overly charismatic, overly doing that, that sounds the alarm for me on the inside, and that's like for me a potential red flag. And I'm like kind of like watching them. I'm like, okay, they're nice, but we'll see over time what's going on with that person. I'm usually the person, because I can easily pick up on folks like this, the terroristic sweetheart. Everybody, and you may too out there, everybody will be like, oh, she's such a wonderful lady, he's such a great guy, and everybody say, oh, they're so great. I'm like the only one. I'm like, no, they're not that. Because I'm paying attention to what I'm feeling and when I'm picking up about the person, and because I'm an empath, I'm usually not wrong when I listen to my intuition. When I don't, and I try to, overthink it or try to intellectualize it, and usually that's what gets me in trouble, when I overthink it, and when I really, really want to like the person and want that person in my life. That's where all things go wrong. But yeah, these people, definitely watch out for them. They've perfected, the mask of niceness. They're very passive aggressive, and they're tough to detect. But if you pay attention to your intuition, and also here's another way to detect them that I didn't put down or write down in my notes. If you ask enough questions. And if you do, because they're passive aggressive, and I, used to be very passive aggressive. This is what I know, because that's who they are. They're sneaky. If you ask them a question directly about something that they may have did that was wrong, or participated in that was wrong, if you directly say to them, did you do this thing? Or do you feel a certain way about this thing? Like directly, and they deflect, and they constantly deflect or flip the tables or change the topic or say, oh, no. But they don't really answer your question about how they feel about a particular thing, or whether a thing is right or wrong, or they could be a terroristic sweetheart. They could be a problem. They could be a problem when they're deflecting, and when they're not answering the question, simply just saying yes or no, or just answering the question that you're asking. That is a red flag. So if they're constantly circumventing and going around, in circles about something that you're asking them, that is a red flag, and that you could be detecting a terroristic sweetheart. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that particular nice, nasty person, a terroristic sweetheart. These are not good people. They put on a show of being a good person, and they know how to, really, they're great actors and actresses, but deep down they're not. And they're using being nice as a means to control situations and to control people, because when you pretend to be nice, less people will question your behavior, because it's not expected of a nice person. So yeah, that's what they do. And that's what I wanted to share with you in this video. Hopefully it's been helpful to you. Take care, God bless, and I will see you in the next one.